Ian, interest rates going up all the time, as we know, could go even higher, and that impacts on mortgages, as we've seen this morning.
Sure. I think the whole point, Kay, here that people are missing is that the savings mortgage is not like the mortgage market, and that is why you're seeing these allegations being flung around. I mean, the mortgage market, notwithstanding the fact that there are fewer products on the market than there have been in previous months, that reflects the fact that money is more expensive, and accordingly it is being, there is a scarcity around. I mean, over the last 15 years, we've had interest rates at near zero, and accordingly money has been very, very cheap. So there have been lots of mortgage offers out there. Mortgages are like any other product. When the price goes up and down, demand and supply will fluctuate accordingly. If you take the savings issue, though, I mean, I think what a lot of people are missing in all of this is that during the last 15 years, you've had interest rates at effectively zero, and that has really, really crushed the profitability of the banking sector. I mean, the key thing to look at is the net interest margin in the jargon. That is the difference between what the banks will charge borrowers and what they'll pay out to depositors. Now, when you have ultra-low interest rates or near zero interest rates, you get what's known in the jargon as market compression. There is very, very little ability for the banks to make a turn on what they're charging borrowers and paying depositors. Now, when interest rates go up, obviously there is more flexibility to rebuild profits through increasing that spread, and accordingly that's what the banks have been trying to do. I think there's a danger that if you over-regulate this market, you're going to end up in a situation as we've had with the energy firms, where you had an energy price cap imposed, and obviously that policy turned out to be pretty catastrophic when a lot of the challengers ended up being caught out by sudden moves in energy prices. And the banks actually trade on this in the savings market. If you cast your mind back, Kay, to the build-up to the financial crisis, you had these challenger savings businesses, the likes of IceSave there, paying very generous and competitive savings rates, and obviously they all collapsed during the financial crisis, and accordingly the banks know that some savers prefer to leave their money with a trusted name like Barclays, Lloyds or HSBC or NatWest, and accordingly the banks can charge a bit of a premium for that. I think the case for the defence, when they see the regulators, will be for them to point to fixed rate savings products, some of which are pretty competitive. It's these easy access savings accounts where there's less competition going on.
Yeah, although I'm just looking at some of the profits from the banks for 2022, Ian, and we're not going to go around with a begging bowl, are we?
No, but as I say, Kay, you have to put this into context with what's been going on over the last 15 years, where the profitability of the banks has been absolutely crushed, because, as I say, there's been ultra-low interest rates, and there's been no scope for them to move out their net interest margins. What you've actually seen since interest rates have started to go up over the last 18 months or so is that net interest margins have gone back to kind of where they were before the financial crisis, before we had this extraordinary period of ultra-low interest rates. And if you talk to analysts in the market who are paid to analyse the prospects of the banks, I mean, they would say that they're not actually making out like bandits. All that you're seeing is a return to more normal conditions, the sort of normal conditions we got before this extraordinary period where we've had near zero interest rates for the last 15 years. That's an extraordinary period. The trouble is that a lot of people won't remember what conditions were like in the market prior to that. And you could actually say the same of the mortgage market too.